Hello. Welcome, everybody.
Jams, man.
Thank you for the cheers. Thanks, Ed. We are, if this is the first time, welcome. If this is the first time stopping by the stream, we are 20 sides to every story, and we are playing the rare Monday community game. We're playing Temple of Elemental Evil, and we have 4 adventurers here that are about to pop into the fire node. If this is, if you haven't watched any of these previous streams of Temple of Elemental Evil that we've been doing, I'll give you kind of the rundown of what we're doing here. This is something we have done for a while, using the original Adventures Reincarnated books from Goodman Games. I think it's been like 3 years or something. We've been running these books and doing them community campaign style, where really anybody in our community can create a character, jump into one of these games. You'll notice if you watch any of these videos, it's different group of players just about every time. And so we've got this campaign that's really meant to kind of allow anybody that's learning about us for their first time and wanting to get in a game, real easy to do so. We're kind of at sort of the final chapter, I would say, of this campaign. So we've got I just discovered I got a level 6 character in the mix. So that's pretty impressive. We got some people who have been playing for a long time. And I would say, it's not too late. I would say if you want to jump into a game, you could still do so. The best way to do that, figure out what you need to do to get into one of our games, is just hop into our Discord. I'll throw that link there in the chat, so you can come in to the Discord. A bunch of people say hello, welcome, and then just let us know that this is what you're looking to get into, and we'll point you in the right direction for how to create a character, how to jump into a game. If starting things off in the middle or the middle of the end of a campaign doesn't sound like your cup of tea, but you're still interested in playing, fear not, because we will certainly have a follow-up campaign to this in the coming months. I've been kind of like eagerly waiting, when is Goodman Games going to announce the next original Adventures Reincarnated, so I could know, do I plan for that or do I do my own thing? So I don't know. We haven't heard anything. I'm going to assume that they won't announce that until probably Gen Con at the earliest at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and probably just do like maybe a mini follow-up campaign or something like that, that we can continue the story of these characters that have done the first part here. So time for my homebrew cafe. Yeah, this would be the wrong time in my life to be embarking on that journey. Someday. I did flirt with the idea of that, but no, I don't think so. Yeah, so what else? The other thing that just trying to like spread the awareness of is that we are going to be doing a week of giving, some charity games here in May. I believe those are starting May 9th through the 14th, I want to say. We're going to be raising some money for the Center for Suicide Awareness, which is an organization that we have supported for a number of years now. I think we started playing some charity games for them back in 2019. We kind of built a little bit of a relationship there. And yeah, we're going to be doing some one-offs, some one-shots. All the DMs from 20 sides are pitching in and running a game or so. So that should be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of different systems, I think, too. Like Winston's going to be running Mouse Ritter. We've got Dave is going to be running some Star Wars Saga Edition. We've got Gabe, you're running help me out. OSC, right?
Essentials.
Old School Essentials, yeah. So, and then I think Casey's going to be running Quiet Year. So many diverse systems, very different types of games. So be a good week to check out some different games that you might not be familiar with, and just a really good cause. And we'll be doing some giveaways too. The center has 5 Xbox PC controllers that they're donating to us to use as giveaways. So we'll be giving some of that stuff out. Probably some apparel, some 20-side swag, all sorts of stuff. So it'll be a great week. So be sure to check us out for that. Planet Buster says, what classic module is left? I'm almost certain it's going to be the slave lords. My guess. It would make sense that they would do that after Temple, and then probably subsequently they'll do the Spider Queen modules, possibly. That's my guess, is that that's what they would do, but who knows? I'm sure they're at the mercy of Wizards of the Coast as to... I'm sure that's what's the holdup in announcing some of that stuff, so I guess we'll see. Yeah. So, where we begin this session of Temple of Elemental Evil are really all of the characters that are still active and participating in the campaign. We're all tied up in this big push, this big assault that took place. All the characters went down to the 4th level of the Temple of Elemental Evil to force a confrontation with Lareth the Beautiful and all of the... Well, we've since learned that he is in alignment with Ayaz the Old, who jump-started the Greyhawk Wars, and it's a conflict that's happening many probably months travel to the north of where our campaign is taking place. But it turns out that the temple itself is apparently an instrument that Ayaz coveted and wanted to use to further his war ambitions to the north. Fortunately, the player characters, as well as some allies from the region, and certainly some of the townsfolk of Hamlet, had come to the temple to kind of stop all the wickedness that was happening here. The heroes that went to the Greater Temple did quite well into pushing into Lareth's domain. Maybe so well that you summoned basically Ayaz himself personally came to the temple to deal with these pesky adventurers. Fortunately, you have the god Saint Cuthbert in your corner, and Saint Cuthbert, seeing that Ayaz kind of crossed a line, a divine line perhaps, it brought forth Saint Cuthbert, who came in to counterbalance that injustice. It was a very unbalanced kind of thing to have a demigod insert himself into this conflict here. So he managed to deal with Ayaz, and he left all the player characters that are still involved with sort of a directive, and that is that in order to destroy the temple, like to actually end this, you all have to do the one thing that the righteous host did not do 50 years ago. Maybe they either weren't aware of it or didn't know how to deal with it, but you need to reassemble the golden skull with the 4 elemental power gems. Once it's assembled, you are to destroy it, and that is the only way to destroy the temple and send Zuggitmoy back to the abyss, so that she's just a time bomb sitting here on the material plane otherwise, just waiting. We've seen evidence in the campaign that she's spreading her mind control spores out in the world, trying to bring servants to her to break her free from her prison. And so that's where we're at. You 4, the way this probably shook out is in the final moments of that conflict, ogres, giants, ettins, trolls, you name it, kind of closed up the hallway behind you as you ran towards the portals that would lead to one of the 4 elemental nodes. 4 of you ended up together, chose a hallway, and you sprinted down that hallway. And that's where our session here tonight is going to pick up. You've just entered in to one of those portals. What it looked like is you would have been running down a hallway, and inscribed on the floor tiles of the temple, it would have been a 6-pointed star, the symbol of the eternal flame cult, the symbol of elemental fire. And I said this to the water group too, because I feel like this is important. It wasn't instantaneous when you went to the portal and stood on the emblem on the floor. It took the equivalent of 3 combat rounds for you to phase from the temple to where we're going to pick up here. So I'll give you a description of what's happening as you come into the fire node in just a second. But first, why don't we do some character introductions for everybody that's just jumping in, checking in with us. And so I don't know if I have a great question for you. I had a good one for the water group. I feel like I have less of one for you. But why don't you just tell us like a little bit about your character, and maybe what's going through their mind as they've just been given this directive from a god, like directly from a god, which is a very unusual thing. So we'll start things off with Absalom.
All right, I'm playing Absalom, and Absalom is a level 5 rogue. He's a Goliath, so not exactly the best fit, although not unprecedented on the community campaign. And he has been, he was a smuggler, and the big story is, and this has kind of come out eventually, is that he was a smuggler, crossed the wrong guy, was forced to come to Hamlet to do some spying because this guy is noble. Really wanted to get his hands on some of the orbs, that like the explosive fire orb things. And so Absalom's been like secretly trying to find them this whole time, but things went badly, and now Absalom wants to kill that guy. So and so that's kind of the situation that he's headed towards. So he's all in on the team. He had a chance to betray everybody. He chose to just stick with them. And as far as what he's thinking right now that as an Orbidian, which is a Goliath in our setting, kind of, he's resistant to cold damage, and yet he is going into the exact opposite place to be with this rarely used ability. So, but no. Really, what he's thinking is just that how did I get into all of this? I don't understand. I threw my lot in with a bunch of these crazy people, but I guess I'm committed now, and if I come out on top, I can claim credit for everything that's happened. So that's what we'll go on.
Awesome. And thank you, Wormy1, for the follow. Huzzah. Thanks for stopping by and checking us out here this evening. Let's go next to Gabe and learn a bit about Thorwald.
Hi, I'm playing Thorwald Arno. He is a barbarian paladin, so weird mix. He arrived here all jolly, wanted to do the good things. Then a bunch of stuff happened. Companions and NPC died. Character went crazy, went nuts. Joined the fire cult under the tutelage of the prefect of the fire cult. Tried to redeem him. Didn't work out. He was a spore of Zuckmoy, so other pain there. He almost went nuts, like totally. He just lost it. But then in the last couple of sessions, I think he found his way, and especially since he saw Saint Cuthbert in the flesh, that was like the lightning, right, for him. Just wake up, shook it off, get this done. So, as he was running down the corridor, praying, no fire, no fire, no fire. He finds in the fire. So here we are. He's like, uh-oh.
I mean, yeah, basically, like, by the time you got to the end of the hall, there was, like, kind of no going back, even though you probably recognized the symbol on the floor. Big hill giant in your way, probably a smattering of the gargoyles that Donovan had dispersed, had probably, gone down the hallway that you'd gone down, and so it was either jump in the portal or get squashed, so... Oh, well... Here we are. Let's move on next to Magnus.
So Magnus is a new cleric, and he is a staunch supporter and follower of Saint Cuthbert, who you will hear him talk about all the time. He's had some run-ins with the fire cult, and well, I know you've heard it 1,000 times, but Magnus likes to tell some rhymes.
Very good. I guess. I'm sure it won't end there. Yes. Let's go next to Dawson, who's playing the good doctor.
Oh boy, it's been a bit. I'm Dawson. I'm playing good old Dr. Heinrich Chernoff, the man with impeccable sideburns, at your service. It's been a bit for him. He left Hamlet a while ago. It turns out that no one really wants to buy his product, even though it seemed like a very lucrative market to do so. But apparently they found different suppliers. So he's like, they don't need my services anymore. He wandered off. He was like, if I really think about it, doesn't all medicine come from the earth at one point? You know what may have good places for new ingredients. The Elemental Temple might know a thing or two. Turns out, it really doesn't. People tend to try and kill you a lot in there. So he found himself in there, alone, met with a lovely air cultist leader. He seems like a wonderful guy. Fantastic person. He worked with him for a bit, started concocting some potions to try and resist that whole Zuckamoy issue. It's going great. That's back on the Bunsen burner, back in the laboratory. However, here's a bit of an issue of, all those gargoyles behind there. Not great. You don't really want to deal with that. And so, when you run out a hallway with 3 people you don't even know, wait, do I know? No. It can't be. You have different hair. No. Oh. Who are you people? Oh. Oh no. This is fire room? That's not great. Fire. Ogres. Fire
Well,
it is.
And I always have to remind everybody of this because, I don't know, I just want to make sure every group realizes you all have a potion that was brewed up by Dr. Heinrich, and that the purpose of that potion is to sort of ward off Zuggtmoy's mind spores. Might not be something you're necessarily concerned with or going to use right in this moment, but what it does is it's a one-use item that you can either use to give yourself advantage on the saving throw against being mind controlled by those spores for 24 hours, or it can be used to cure somebody that is under the effects of Zuggtmoy's mind spores. So make sure you got that down somewhere on your inventory, that's something you've added. So let's get right into it. So as the 4 of you stood together on the runes that made up the portal that was going to lead you here to the current predicament, you kind of saw, you're probably like defending this hill giant that was barraging you. Some of those gargoyles probably broke free from Donovan's spell, were attacking you. You're sort of defending yourselves in those moments, those 18 seconds that you watched the room start to the walls of the room kind of bend and waver. And everything just kind of had this kind of wavy, kind of dizzying effect. Almost like looking through like the vapors of like gasoline or something. The room just kind of turns this glossy kind of feel. Your feet seem to kind of kick out from underneath you, and you just get kind of this sickening feeling in the pit of your stomach as your environment just morphed before your eyes. And now you can kind of it's starting to come back together, starting to refocus as you're looking around at this star-shaped room where your tokens are located. The entire room is made up of this dark gray black stone, which seems to be somewhat porous, and you can feel like exhaust or gas kind of rising up out of that rock. It's blasting you in the face. You can feel it on the soles of your boots. It's quite warm. Maybe at least 105 degrees in here. And I don't know if you've ever been like I don't know, my experience, the analogy I want to make probably isn't very universal, but I did a study abroad in China, and I spent a lot of time in the big city just taking in, it's probably like, equivalent of any big city here, but just kind of that feeling of kind of like pollution kind of coating your lungs. You get that here. It's sort of hard to breathe. You almost instantly have kind of phlegm that you're coughing up as your body is just taking in sort of this kind of noxious fumes that you're inhaling into your lungs. And looking around at the ground, there's even like places where you can see kind of fissures that open up, and there's almost like it looks like maybe magma or something trapped within this rock that have these kind of glowing. The whole room is lit up by the light that's cast about. And there are places once in a while you see like a spark or something shoot up out of little pockets in this rock and cast out an ember, which cools a bit and turns to ash and just kind of floats around, gets kicked around in the circulation of this room. There are doors, 8 in total, I believe, at the 4 corners of the room that are made of kind of the similar black stone of the room, and made with hinges, metal hinges attached to them. And yeah, that's basically kind of the lay of the land as you're coming into this new environment.
Well, this isn't the best place I've been to. I'm sorry. I don't believe I've met any of you. Hi, Dr. Chernoff at your service. Do I know you? And he points at Thorwald.
Yes, Dr. Chenner, we interacted, but I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of adventuring with you before.
Oh, it's probably for the best. I'm not really the adventuring type. This isn't really my strongest suit, one would say. Ooh, what happened there? He's gonna point to like some of the wounds that are on your side there.
Oh, one bash there, one sword slash here. That's part of the career. If you want to be an adventurer, gotta be scared.
Oh, trust me, by no means do I want to. But at least let me have a look at that. He's gonna go over, he's gonna pull out his little suture kit, and he's gonna start giving you some healing. And you, my good friend Thorwald, what is your level?
6.
6. Wonderful. Excellent. And I don't think I have the pleasure of meeting you ever. And he's gonna point towards Absalom.
So Absalom is a bit like dumbstruck by Thorwald talking, because it's the first time he's heard him talk in, I guess, several months. Maybe is that about right, Thorwald?
I think in game time it was actually not that long, but it definitely seemed like a long time. Yes.
I'll just say, well, anyways, I'm sorry, I'm Absalom. I'm sort of the de facto leader of this group at Hamlet, but
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me? Well, Thorwald would Thorwald's not in the right mind to back me up.
I have met Elmo. You're not one who can really fool me that well, but no offense, it was a worthy effort. I found a good joy in it. You look hurt as well. Would you like some medical attention? I promise not to hurt you.
Insight check. No, I'm just kidding. Absalom would be like, I guess, my friend, maybe we can revisit your poor ability to detect the situation around you. But I will trust that you are a better doctor than a politician. So, sure, I'll take some healing.
Thorwald, you get 13. And what level are you, Absalom? 5?
Level 5.
Thank
you
you.
Get 15.
That's good.
So as you are here kind of getting reacquainted with one another, patching up some wounds from this immediate battle that you just had, there is a sort of a jet of steam. Some of the rock underneath your feet kind of blows open, and the pressure of that releases this jet of steam that comes out, and each of you can give me a dexterity saving throw to see if you can avoid that, as that the hostility of this place makes itself known.
Oh, good heavens!
All right. Let's see. How about Magnus? And you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why my rolls haven't come up yet, but I got a 5 with my
5.
disadvantage.
Okay. So Magnus and Thorwald, you both get hit by it. It deals you 7 points of fire damage.
Oh god.
And then, you know, as soon as the pressure is released, it starts to cease and quiets down, and there's just sort of like a simmering sound. There is some moisture there, and as it lands on the floor, it just starts to kind of sizzle, and it quickly the water is gone.
Friends, we gotta move. This is an unhospitable place. It's gonna kill us slowly or fast.
Well, Doctor, I'm somewhat of a healer myself, and I think that we need to get out of here before we start to put you to use.
Of course.
Let's. Where are we going?
It doesn't matter.
Pick a corner. Pick a corner.
I don't see one. For I don't think we see a map.
That's right. We're on the water node.
We're on the water node.
Oh,
No.
well, that's a problem. Let's see.
So your name was Magnus, was it? I've heard many a great tale about you and your faithful mates.
Yeah, he kind of swings it around a little bit. It lights up, and he's like, yeah. I can't believe I came across a beauty like this in a place like this. That doesn't count as a rhyme, because you can't rhyme this with the same word.
Well, you can if you take some
Absolutely
license.
picked one. Absolutely picked one, right?
I picked one, yes. This door is clearly the best door, the safest route. I can smell it.
Yeah, Thorwald follows you without saying a word. He just wants to get out of here.
Well, don't leave me here. I'll go with.
All right, so you open the door, and basically what you see is a 10-foot wide hall, still composed of that same kind of grayish black stone, and it's very, I wouldn't say it's cavernous looking, like it sort of does look crafted, I guess, like there's sort of a pattern to the walls and such. But it looks a little bit less, you see less of those like fiery fissures. You still get the kind of the feel of like exhaust kind of like coming out of like the walls to your left and right. But a little bit less concern about maybe jets of steam coming up at you from this hall.
Yeah, I'll turn to Magnus and say, Magnus, my eyesight in the dark is not as good as it used to be, and I'll tap my glass eye with my dagger. Be like, do you mind lighting the way, friend?
Well, I can
Yes.
do that. And I will put on my fire's word, and that will give us 40 feet radius light.
Nice. And I'll just turn my my mace up. You can light up at will. Because it's fancy like that.
Okay,
That's pretty cool.
it's very cool.
Are your tokens able to see down here? Or
I
so?
can't
No.
see, no.
Apparently, no.
No.
Oh boy. And of course this light add-on thing that I had like isn't updated for like the latest version of
Dun, dun,
Foundry.
dun. Looks so cool, too. This door is very dark. I chose poorly. I mean, I'm thinking that in my head, but not saying it out loud.
Let's see. Does that didn't change anything?
No.
Well, let's see. I can just change it on your tokens to say suggest that you have some
Dark vision.
vision in here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Now
we'll just do that.
And we'll just like say that we have light sources, and if you want to punish us for that, you can.
Yeah, well, you know, it's actually not even like, it's not pitch black in here. There is going to always be a little bit of ambient light kind of coming from the walls a bit. It's dimmer down here than it is in that first room, but you can see.
I saw something I wasn't supposed to see.
Did you say there were bigger steam vents in this hallway?
No. You're sort of feeling that this is in the hallway is probably less of a hazard than that original room where you saw like actual like magma and such boiling up. It's still the heat is still palpable down this hallway though.
All right, I'll scout ahead and just make sure the coast is clear.
So you want me to hang on to the back?
Stay within like 10 feet of me.
Okay.
So I can see 30 feet. So I see some kind of a door.
It's another stone. Yeah, it's another stone door. Same material as that last the room that you were in, and then you see a hallway that kind of juts off this main one just to your right.
All right, I'm gonna listen at the door to see what I hear.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Oh, I'm very good at this. Back at my hometown, I was voted most likely to succeed at a perception check.
I have no idea what that even means.
16.
I would say you hear like some kind of movement behind this door. It's very subtle, but there's a sound that you kind of hear kind of echoing around in the room, like something is moving about, like kind of just sound of general motion.
And we're specifically looking for a gem, right?
Yes.
Like a gem for the skull? Okay.
Yeah, and it will probably have the same shape of the room we just landed in. Like
Absalom and Thorwald, you actually saw the skull, so you
Right.
sort of know what they look like. Each of the indentations in the skull is shaped like one of the elemental cult symbols. So the one for fire would be the 8-pointed star.
Got it. Okay. Say, well, there's some sort of motion in this room. We could check it out. Maybe I could take a little peek.
I mean, we would be lucky if the first room we got into is the one holding the gem. But
That would be lucky. I opened the door. Session over. You found the gem. The first room.
Is there not a door there?
No, there's a door there, and we see what's inside the door.
yeah.
Oh. Well, then this is your fault.
No, it's okay. This is good. I'm trying to play how exactly I would do, which I think I would want to open the door. Let me just take a peek.
Still got to update Dawson's token here for vision. So, well, hopefully not all the walls are missing. I don't know why that is.
We'll see.
But yeah, you open up the door, and pretty quickly.
Do it very quietly.
Oh, give me a stealth check as you open the door.
There we go. Careful. I'm just barely pushing the door.
16. Okay. So you kind of creak the door open, and you manage to do so. And as you peek into this room, you can see that it is lit up. There's a bright light as you are looking down this little diagonal corridor there. And what you can see is the floor there is sort of scattered with bits of charred stone, pieces of iron, Just sort of general debris that's all scorched up, and pieces of leather. And there's sort of a hissing sound that you can see as there are these three kind of snake-like creatures, large creatures that seem to be kind of going at these little bits and pieces of bone. There's all sorts of debris scattered about here, and it seems like these snakes are wreathed in flame, and they seem to be you're not exactly it's sort of alien what you're looking at, but it almost looks like they're devouring these materials or taking delight in igniting them.
Yeah,
you
I'll
also
communicate
think
that.
that you see an ironbound chest in the corner of the room.
How fancy does the chest look?
It is. I wouldn't say it's extraordinarily fancy looking, but it is sturdy looking. Like it's like an iron lockbox.
All right, I think I found the gem and some guardians.
Already? Wonderful.
I think, pretty sure they put it right by the portal for easy retrieval. But there's 3 snake things that are like defending it.
3 snake whats?
Like, like snake, like big red snakes that are like on fire and they're eating bones and setting them on fire.
Oh, that sounds not great. Have you a plan to get rid of them, fearless leader?
I like pause a second. It's like, well, a good leader always delegates and listens to his council.
I mean,
Thorwald,
Officer, not a council member.
Thorwald, you seem to like fire. What do you think? You think you could coax them out or something?
So that you guys know, all of the source of my strength is this flaming sword, and in a flame node, probably not gonna do much. So that you know.
Oh my god.
Thorwald, you're selling yourself short. I have literally syringes as weapons and a bow. You're better off than I am.
Okay. Are we in a position to fight with fire snakes right now?
Oh, right. We need to get some rest. Forgot immediately the purpose of the beginning.
Could be a quick night. I don't care.
I mean, it's in a room where, I mean, it could be a place to hide out if you think it's good enough. Maybe if we just...
anything protected by scary red flaming snake things, you know, there might be something to use from there. And if you need a weapon, I've got this other mace, but I'm gonna need it back because my Cuthbertine mother gave it to me when I left for the billets.
That looks a little too heavy for me.
Oh, I meant for Thorwald. He's to replace his flaming weapon if that becomes a problem.
Thank you. If it comes to that, I'll ask for it.
All right.
I'm quite fond of this sword, actually.
So, at this point, about 10 minutes have passed. You each take 1 point of damage as you're all sort of hacking and coughing, and you're feeling it more and more a struggle to take in oxygen. It's kind of the feeling if you were in a burning building and you're breathing in the fumes. It's to maybe a less extreme version of that suffocating.
So, Alex, do we get the impression that a short rest would be unwise given that?
In this location where you're at, you don't think you'd probably make it through the hour.
Got it. All right, I think, regrettably, I think we must keep going.
Close very gently the door, please.
I'm gonna gently shut the door and then put a little python in like the hinge.
Okay. With the intention of like jamming the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. You feel, we'll say that what you're basically doing is wedging that, so it might be the door would open into the room. So you'd be kind of wedging it to create a little bit of resistance, but it's not a true block, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe it makes a real loud scraping noise.
Yeah, probably makes it like raises the DC to open that door from a strength check just a bit. So
Great. I can't open it now. All right. Let's keep sneaking down this way.
all right.
It's
So
following you.
continuing to follow south. Door right to your left as you're coming down there, and then again kind of a diagonal path to the, we'll just kind of, I'll describe things in cardinal directions because even though you don't know where north is, but the southwest hall there, and then the wide hall continues south.
Is it still pretty smoky and hard to breathe?
Yes. I would say give me a perception check. Anybody who wants to.
I'm going to, but it's not good. Oof. Oh. Good doctor showing me, yeah.
So that passageway to the southwest there, there's sort of like almost like a humid heat that kind of comes from that direction, sort of like a sauna type feel. So it's,
Other than what we're already standing in?
yeah, it's like sort of like a right here, this hallway. You kind of the heat. It's kind of a wet heat. That's humid air is kind of coming from that direction, wafts over you. You get the sense that would probably be even more oppressive than what you're currently in.
What about the straight south? Was it
Kind of continues.
bad?
Same feel, sort of that 105 degree heat.
Well, I'm gonna
She's
act
already
confidently.
sweaty enough.
Magnus, I can smell you. Oh wait, that's me.
Continuing down, another hallway that juts off to the southwest, and then straight ahead, corridor seems to bend. I think right here I'm gonna do little check, see if anything random happens.
Oh, hopefully it's a good random.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, whoever mentioned the tiny hut spell, you are right. This is the time when we would need it. Planet Buster. Yep.
And of course we don't have it, right? That's why we need it. So
Exactly. If Cliff were here, he'd probably have it prepared.
It's true.
All right. If there's no indication of like one of these being less oppressive than the other, or I guess is there any indication, or is it just kind of like it sucks down here?
Give me another perception check.
We're all like, get us out. Everyone roll.
You guys all
Thor,
have cooler dice than me.
Thorwald, maybe Magnus too, I guess. The two of you spot that maybe like the light coming from this direction just seems a little bit brighter, as if maybe there's more light sources further down, but that's really the only indicator. Temperature wise, like if you put your hand out to feel down the two halls, about the same, negligible difference.
Maybe we should stay within yelling distance, but just peek around this corner this way. Someone could peek and see what they see, and somebody go down there and see where that corner leads.
I see something, I think.
All right.
Oh, wait, can I see that far? I
don't know
can't
if
because is it lit or is it dark?
It's
I forgot.
lit. I'm gonna say you can't really make out what you're seeing. You just see like light from that distance. You have to get a little further to like hone in and see exactly what you're seeing.
I'm gonna carefully
away
move.
anyways. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't see anything.
I'm scooching down. I see some light. It's probably
Sure.
some villagers or something.
Go
Very
ahead.
pleasant.
Go ahead and make that stealth check.
Yeah, I'm being stealthy. Here we go.
All right, no problem. So you get there, probably about like right there. You can start seeing a few things as you're peeking into that very large chamber. But this is you just realize the map isn't truly reflecting some of the things that are in here, because the map is based off of the old module that had like no detail to the nodes, and then Goodman Games did the 5e stuff, so they have added some detail to these rooms that the map maker here couldn't have known about. But you again are kind of feeling or you're seeing some evidence of some of those like steam jets kind of pouring up out of like the porous floor in this chamber, and right in the middle of the chamber, you see the tokens and whatnot there. Just imagine that those tokens are basically sitting right in these two big open fire pits, and the honestly, you probably can't see these tokens here, but hovering in the air are sort of these winged-looking creatures. You've probably encountered some before. I don't remember who's all encountered a mephit, but that's what you're looking at, a little winged creature. It's holding this big metal pole with sort of a crescent head at the top, and it seems to be kind of churning. It's got that stuck down into the fire pit, and it's kind of like poking at the embers and kind of stirring it around and getting these kind of big flames just kind of start to like kind of liven up and grip at the air, and then when they die down they start getting more aggressive and kicking the embers around to kind of jolt it.
So do I get the impression that they're causing some of the oppressive heat? Like that maybe might be the source? Is it getting like worse as they get closer?
No, you're not drawing like any correlation to that. It sort of looks like they're maybe give me another perception check.
Okay. This is
See if you
problematic,
can
everyone.
maybe see a little further down into these fire pits. You're not too sure what they're stirring up. All you're really seeing is like the flames that lick up. But your brain is trying to make sense of what they're looking at. It almost looks like they're stirring around, a big campfire, and they're just stoking the flames and poking at them.
Okay. I'm gonna creep back. Say, I think that there's a bunch of those more snake things and some little winged steamy things, and they're making a campfire for I don't know what reason. Maybe they're making s'mores.
They are making a campfire in a place full of fire. Reasonable.
Do you want to go see for yourself?
Oh, good heavens, no. That's, I leave that to the more experienced, brave adventurers.
Quick shout out to the chat here. Thanks, Wisterin, for the follow. Appreciate that. Thanks for stopping out.
Hey. We do need a Spug Noir.
I suggest we continue. That doesn't, based on your description, does not seem like a room we want to be in right now.
I found something cool.
He did. So you pop around the corner there, and the floor here is covered by a thin layer of organic soil. There's a very strong earthy smell in this chamber. And right around the corner there, you can see a triangular glyph about 10 feet on a side. It's a symbol of the Earth cult.
I'm gonna pick up a rock and throw it on the glyph. Actually, I'll do ball bearing. Very roguey. Does it teleport to a different dimension?
It does not.
Does it trigger a bunch of monsters to attack us?
No. It is the air here feels a little nicer. It's a little cooler in this little corner.
Does any of you guys have detect magic?
No.
Okay. Well, I bet that glyph is magic, but you know, let's leave it as a guess and not tamper with it too much.
Okay. The air here is nicer. Do you want to try to take a breather?
The room is usually defensible with two sharp corners, so even for that,
I would be willing to take a short rest. I really need a place that I can really sit down for a while. I don't think an hour is going to do it for me.
While the conversation's being had, the doctor's just gonna go like around the perimeter of this stone thing and just see if he can find anything peculiar about it.
Specifically the glyph.
Yes.
Okay. Are you trained in Arcana?
I have no idea. He is not.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
That I am trained in.
Okay.
Nice.
Thanks for the raid. I'm Barbie.
Hey, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Homebrew Cafe. Thanks for stopping by. Were you guys painting some minis here tonight? I thought I saw you all kind of talking about that. Definitely, if you haven't, check out Homebrew Cafe, twitch.tv/Homebrew Cafe. They've got a number of D&D streams. I think they're doing a Curse of Strahd right now. I'm trying to remember if it's Mondays that you guys do the mini, but that's always fun when they're painting minis, just hanging out, talking tabletop. That's a fun one to watch. So, yeah. So, Dawson, Heinrich is looking at the symbol. Maybe it kind of strikes you that it looks very like the dirt in the area. It looks like it's been kind of like this has been uncovered, maybe like someone pushed aside some of the dirt to reveal the symbol, which is in kind of a black grayish stone like the rest of the halls here. You can kind of see some maybe footprints in the dirt.
Are they people footprints? Are they animal footprints?
Yeah, like a humanoid, medium-sized creature, boot prints.
Well, I don't know about you, but it seems like this thing may have been buried here not too long ago, and someone or something has been trying to dig it out. For what purpose? I have not a clue.
can Forward use survival to get additional info on those tracks that Dr. Heinrich has found?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a survival check. So it looks like probably like a single individual. The tracks lead from here down to this corner of the room and seem to lead up to the north.
Well, perhaps if someone is living here, they may know better spots to take a breather than this wonderful environment we find ourselves in.
It's worth the investigation. And if it's is not someone friendly, then we probably don't want to be sitting here. So
I mean, we're within snoring distance of those creatures. I can get quite a bellow going at night, I'm told.
still holding out hope for that long rest, aren't you?
Absalom, how about you follow those tracks? Where this this humanoid went, probably safer than here.
You're probably right. So I'll try to follow the tracks. I'm not as talented, but I am proficient in survival as well.
Okay.
So I'll try to root them out as I go quietly.
Yeah, we'll say I'm gonna move your token.
Good. Do it.
I'm gonna say you get to like here. And then you're not sure. Give me a survival check at this point.
All right. Oh, actually, it's good.
Okay. So these footprints, faint traces of that earth heading north, but you pick up on something else right about here. There almost looks like there is a scorch, like a line, like a line of maybe ash that had been kind of like friction rubbed it down into the stonework, and so there's sort of like this like soot stain that comes from the north and seems to go into that door just to the east there.
It's almost like a trail of like a fiery creature or something.
Yeah.
That sounds bad. I'm gonna look through the keyhole.
It's fairly dark. There's a little bit of like a dim light, that kind of similar dim light, but you don't see anything. There really isn't a keyhole. You could see like a little bit of maybe dim light from under, a little bit of illumination near the crevices of the door frame.
I was hoping you would call me out on that. Where are all the keyholes? I Disney lied to me as a child. There's never a keyhole.
I don't think there's unlikely to be many keyholes on any of these doors.
All right, I will listen at the door, and I'll also motion everybody else like there's something over here, or like
okay,
more like a motion than a sound.
Okay. Anybody follow?
Somebody you asked to join. Okay.
So go ahead and move your tokens up there. Absalom, go ahead and give me perception check.
Why do I keep doing this? I'm like the wrong one.
You don't hear anything from the other side there.
So the coast is clear.
And the tracks went into that room?
Yes, but there's nothing in there. I can not hear anything, so. Remember, I have twice spotted the fire snakes, so I am the expert on this now.
You are 2 for 2.
2 for 2, so third time's the charm.
Lead us.
All right, I'm going to open the door.
I see that the chat wants to help you out, but we still have DCC stuff.
Chat's like, don't open the door.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I play D&D like it's DCC. So this is why we get into these problems.
I'll fix it in a bit. But you open up the door.
Is he a bad thing?
It's gonna be a bad thing.
No,
or not.
I'm gonna move my character.
I'm gonna subvert your expectations here. So
Okay.
you open up the door, and what you see in there is one thing: an upturned metal pull cart, like a mining cart, discarded, near the far end of the room.
How's the temperature in this room? Does it feel any less oppressive?
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit cooler in here by about,
All right.
Under 100, so getting better.
This room is empty. We should see what's in it, and maybe this would be a place for Magnus to take a nap.
Oh, wait, you guys gonna go get food while I take a nap? Because I'm also hungry.
Oh my god. Go grab one of the snakes.
Yep.
All right, so you're all
It
popping
truly
into
is empty.
the chamber here.
Yeah, so just one mining cart in here, that's all?
That's it.
Maybe we could push the mining cart up against the door. Somebody could sleep in the cart to add weight to it. Or behind the cart.
Alex, does this look like a place we can spend 1 hour or 8 hours for wet matters, or what is the feeling?
Well, here's the...
Compared to everywhere else that you've traversed at this point, it's definitely the most comfortable.
Let's do it.
The doctor's gonna look at the ground. You said there were... Absalom, you said there were scorch marks leading in here, correct?
Right, but there's nothing in here, so...
I mean, it's the minecart. Do you think the minecart rolled all the way into it? You still look at the ground and see if, like, the scorch marks lead to the minecart or something.
Of course.
What are you worried the minecart is sentient?
We're in a place
I would
of
know that
fire
word.
and death. I don't believe anything anymore. All I know is my oaths that I've taken, and that's what holds me to this. So, I don't know what check you want me to do for minecartness or scorchiness.
Sorry, what are you trying to do with the minecart?
Well, nothing yet. I'm seeing like where the scorch trail that led into this room leads. If it's just like it came into this room and then it just vanishes.
Yeah, it vanishes right underneath the minecart.
It's okay, Doctor. We have a tracker. Absalom, you took care of it. Don't worry. We'll protect you. I'll lean up against the cart. In fact, I gotta do some things with candles and do my writings first. So I mean, you can begin to sleep. I'll take care of it.
Is the cart like overturned where there might be something underneath it that we can't see?
Yeah, it's overturned. So what is underneath the cart you can't tell.
Oh shit.
I was gonna say don't touch the cart, but it seems that he is touching the cart. So
I mean, what are you worried about? That there's like a slug under there or something, and it's probably fine.
What if we push the cart in its upside down status of the door and then
Sounds
block it?
Incredibly loud.
This is how we get TPK by cart.
That's my minecart.
I don't want to sleep in the cart anymore. I want to be eaten in my sleep by a mimic.
if there's something there, sleeping here is not a sound decision. So as much as I would hate, dying, I'd rather die at the time of my own choosing that rather than when I was sleeping. So
let's kick it open then.
The doctor, with his best efforts, is just gonna get up against the wall and try to hide, even though he's like a really big gut. It's just like,
okay.
And pull out his bow and just start shaking it. It's very bad.
All right, turn over the cart, Magnus.
So Magnus, tell me what you're doing.
So I have my hand on the cart, and on my magic cudgel is glowing, and I'm kind of using that to lift as well, so that whatever's underneath there, like the light is going to light it up so that everyone sees what it is.
Okay.
But I'm going to do it like a banding, just.
So, first, give me a strength athletics check.
All right.
And I have fixed the EXP store, so the party has 4 rerolls, should you wish to use them.
We're all
Do it.
very concerned about this cart, so I'm going to re-roll it.
All right.
It's the best use for a reroll. Lifting carts.
What?
So, yeah,
this cart
doesn't
down.
go so well. You go and you take a hold of basically from the bottom, which is really the top of the cart. You try to get like kind of a grip, get your fingers kind of wedged underneath that so you can leverage that. The whole cart, the rest of you kind of look on as you see the iron of this cart just starts to glow like red hot. It becomes like super hot. Magnus, you end up taking 6 points of fire damage. And then you drop, like you don't even really get it up high enough to even see what's underneath there. The pain and the shock of that causes you to drop it.
All right, so I just got hurt through my fingers. Like, we should leave this room. We should leave the cart and get the hell out of this room.
I was telling you that this was dangerous.
Is what me, the player, wants to do. I'm just kidding. No, that hurts. Just trying to open up a cart causes me damage.
You see that, like, as you drop it, and I don't know, it looks like some of you are making your way towards the door. You just watch the cart starts to like kind of shift around, and it's like scraping along the floor, and it's kind of coming towards the entrance here. It's starting to very slowly make its way towards the door.
Okay, let's get out and close the door.
Hello. It's I'll be out here.
Classic cart slug.
We ran out. Magnus, come out. Come on, let's close this door.
And then you close the door. Okay.
Close the door.
You can at some point kind of hear it. It starts like dunk dunk. There's like kind of a clang of the iron against the stonework. It seems to be trying to get through the closed door.
We're doing great, everyone.
Hey, let me see your fingers. So, ooh, first degree burns aren't too bad, but if they get to second or third degree, we have a bit of a problem. He's gonna just like bandage those fingers up, get some nice ointment on there, make sure they're nice and well taken care of. Magnus, what level are you?
4.
Level 4. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
You are the one who heals.
I am the one who heals. Have 14 hit points back.
Holy.
Whoa, nice.
And
Back
while
to
I'm at it,
Alpha.
I'm gonna heal myself because I'm also really hurt. I'll take it. I do not have 189 hit points. That's not the right number.
All right,
Okay,
as
guys,
this is going on here, I'm going to say at this point, about 40 minutes has transpired since you came into the node. And again, you're all kind of having a hacking, coughing fit as you each take 3 points of damage.
We got to find some place to rest. This door! I'm just going to throw the door open.
Okay, one thing you notice as you're opening that door, there is a big, red, vaguely humanoid-looking form that engulfs the entire hallway. This big fire elemental is just standing at the kind of intersection there, and seems to be staring down. You get the sense it's looking at you, and its arm, flickering light and flame, kind of creates like an arm, and it's sort of beckoning you.
In a nice way?
Yeah.
I doubt he's offering food in a warm bed, but
Thorwald,
Oh, very warm bed.
Thorwald, what is that?
we should all just escape from the room to the left of us.
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Surely no card
It's-
slugs in here.
It's there for but a moment, and then it seems to move and head away to the
All
north.
right, I'm gonna stand point right here while the good doctor and Thorwald get in.
All right. So you open that door. You go into that hallway there. Now, I better make sure you can't open these doors because these are different looking doors than you've seen elsewhere. Namely in material and what they're made of. The one closest to you is made of, yes, that one right there is made of a basalt stone. The one just here is composed of a pitch stone. And that's what you see, those two doors. Both of them are no handle or anything like that. And each one seems to have sort of this little bit of a kind of a little crevice, an indent, maybe about 3.5, 4 feet up on the door. Sort of a little shelf, sort of a kind of hemispherical shelf.
Like something you could like insert into, like a
Yeah, like
key
a
type thing.
kinda, yeah, like or an object maybe. There's nothing in there, but
All right, I'm gonna examine it without touching. And say, Doctor, you seem the reputable type, but I bet you've broken a few doors in your career trying to help patients. Take a look at this with me and see if this is something we can handle, or if we need some kind of like fucked up weird fire device or something.
Oh, by the way, one thing you learn in college when you become the doctor is to actually learn the lockpick. Mainly because it helps keep your hands steady when you perform emergency sutures and surgeries. So, I actually have some background on this.
All right, so I'm gonna take a look at it, Alex. And what I'm trying to figure out is if I think there's any way we could get creative to crack it, or if we truly need some kind of like magical device or something to open it.
okay. Give me an investigation check.
Okay, and I was angling for help action. But you don't do help action. You have us both investigate, right?
Yeah, you could both make
Okay.
individual checks.
Different mindsets, the academic and the adventurer. Oh, the
So
adventurer wins this one.
yeah, it's not flesh. It's not an open wound. You're not too sure as you're looking at it. But Absalom has an eye for this, so Absalom would recognize this. The door, there's no gaps around this door because it's filled in by kind of a silver filament all around that sort of caulks the door in place. Whether you could like bust it down or something, maybe, but this is the sort of thing that you would see around a door that it's likely not a mechanical thing that is keeping this shut. We'll put it that way.
All right, nothing can be done here. Not with these. I just kind of jangle my thieves' tools and put them back. I think it's a magical seal or maybe some sort of like device.
Let's take the dimension and shape so that we know what we're looking for size-wise and shape-wise.
Yeah, it's like maybe nearly 2 feet tall, maybe 1.5 foot wide.
For the impression in the door that opens it, potentially.
Yeah.
Big.
And they're identical, kind of in shape.
Okay.
Well, this door might be a bust, but there's still one more down the hallway.
Yeah, and that door is the same thing. You'd look at it, you'd see silver filament around that one as well. The difference is in the material that it's made of.
Okay.
Basalt versus Peachstone. Okay.
I'm just gonna keep ranging around and see what's on the side.
So opposite side, same thing. 2 more doors, different material, with the same depression in the door. That one nearest you is made of quartz, and the one just to the north there is made of obsidian. You've got a pitchstone, basalt, quartz, and obsidian doors.
I feel like there's a puzzle, but my intelligence is only 8.
It seems like in order to open these doors, you must try to gather these materials that are made maybe with the respective door in order to possibly unlock it. He's got intelligence of 14. He knows a thing or two.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. If I had to hide the most precious possession, I would hide it in a bolt that is well protected. I'm not sure this is a well protected bolt, but it sure as hell has all of the elements to it.
We don't have time to be robbing for treasures, though. We're looking for the gem.
I think that's the treasure he's referring to.
Damn it, man! That's no time.
Knowing the fact that we are in a very noxious environment, is there anything the doctor could think of to help maybe alleviate it? I mean, he's got a water skin, he's got a couple rags, maybe some sort of just like covering for the best that he can think of.
You know, at the end of the day, you just don't. There isn't a way unless you can conjure up some fresh air. Filtering this, it's the gas that you're breathing in. It's not just debris. So outside of like magical things that you might be able to conjure to like help you, a physical thing probably is going to be unlikely.
Does anyone know how to make air?
What a
Is
great
it,
time to have like
practical
gust of wind or something.
Right?
Oh, that'd actually be like a rare use for it. But we're the worst party for this.
Too?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a reprieve from the noxious gas. It's sort of I want to try to make sure I'm like giving the impression of this is it's not smoky, like you can't see it. You're just experiencing it kind of in different places. So I would say while you're in here, it's a little less so. But
I'd say our best bet is maybe to follow those person footprints we saw back there and see if they lead somewhere more hospitable. It's the only thing I can think of.
Well, they were going towards where that fire elemental was, so.
So that's what it was. Oh, wonderful. Well,
Maybe it was a druid who could turn into a fire elemental.
they can do that?
I think some.
Wow. We're wasting our time. We have to, not die here from asphyxiation as best as possible, and poisoning. Very bad. We should start moving. We don't.
All right, I'm gonna start going this way.
Choosers.
heading north. Okay.
Yeah.
You do so. And you get to a spot. There is a hallway that leads to the southeast and a door to your left. To the north, the hallway continues.
There's something interesting in here, I think.
It's the place for us to not be breathing death.
Maybe. I'll poke my head in this hallway. Does it feel any less oppressive, or are we still in that noxious?
About the same. Yeah, about the same.
The same. How about in this door? Just kick the door open. Is it open?
Yep. You open the door. It opens inward. And on the inside, as you peek in, you can see the skeletal remains of a humanoid leaning against the western wall. There are 2 small rocks that can be seen to the left of the skeleton, and a ripped backpack that has been tossed into the southeast corner of the room.
Okay. Doctor, there's someone who needs your help.
Oh, really? Someone's really down. Oh, you fool. You can't bamboozle me like that.
Bamboozle. He's just a little dehydrated.
I believe he is well beyond the point of dehydrated, if you ask me.
Okay.
There's no water left on the man.
So Absalom and Dr. Chernov, the 2 of you are entering into the room. I just want to hear real quick from Magnus and Thorwald just to see what they're up to. Let's start with Magnus. Magnus, you're hanging out in the corridor there. You've been kind of watching some of this like investigation going on. What's going on with Magnus? Anything Magnus is up to?
Magnus is maybe a little crabby for a nap, but he I think he'd like to kind of sneak ahead and see where this goes, but at the same time, Magnus so basically goes up, so it would be 2 lefts, essentially just going back where we came from. I'm gonna go peek down here though. Oh, I can't go through walls apparently.
You're gonna peek down there. Okay. How about Thorwald? What are you up to?
Okay, Thor is back against the wall next to the door, looking north. He saw the fire elemental there. It's defensive position, ready for everything, coming from the north.
Okay, so you're kind of staying put to guard should that thing come back. Okay. Absalom, Dr. Chernov, I'm going to push. I just want to get a little something in here for Magnus as he peeks into this room real quick, and then we'll flip back over. So you peek in, Magnus, to that room, that side chamber there, and what you see is there's a lone altar that stands near the south wall. Just sort of like a stone-looking thing. It's made of basalt stone, and sitting on top of it is this statue that's carved to represent the shape of like kind of flames.
Is that one of the stones we need? I can't remember, so I just kind of...
It's about that size.
Yeah, I'm going to shout back, but because I'm just a kind of big dumb animal. Like, hey, it's one of those stones.
I'd say Thorwald, maybe you hear that.
What? You found one of the stones we need?
I mean, it's not the same kind of stone as the rest of this muck, so it seems special.
Okay, hey, Dr. Absalom, seems like Magnus found something.
So maybe at that moment, as Absalom and Dr. Chernov, you're in the other chamber searching about, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Those are the good kind, right?
Those are good.
I wonder how this man died.
I would like to use a reroll.
Yes.
I'll blast it all.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not worth it. I've only rolled it. I only have a 1.
Okay.
I accept my fate.
We got a 5 and an 11. Excellent. This is excellent for the scene here.
And I'm just thinking, I wonder how this man died.
Yeah, you both take
petrification.
You both take 17 points of poison damage, and you have the poisoned condition for 1 hour.
I'm down.
Oh my god.
Goodbye. Doctor's out.
Is Absalom still?
Oh no. Yeah, well, I'm still up.
Okay, so Thorwald, you call back to the two of them in that chamber, and you just hear like coughing and hacking, and like it doesn't sound good.
Okay. I will very quickly, if I see Dr. Chernoff down, I will just grab his body and drag it out of the room fast.
Okay, no problem. You can absolutely do that. And how
And then
about?
I will. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead and you drag him, or firemen carry him out of there. Absalom, how about you? You're still up.
Oh God, I'm so tempted to keep going in here. Like it's just a little bit of smoke. No, I will leave.
Okay, then you make it out, and then even the air out here in the corridor feels like a cool breeze as you start sucking in air.
It feels nice. Oh.
So Thor will touch Dr. Chernoff and lay on hands if we're not in combat. We're not in combat, right?
Not in combat, no. What it is there's just kind of that invisible poisonous gas was very concentrated in that room, and Absalom and Heinrich breathed it in pretty heavily.
Yeah, I'll lay on hands Dr. Chernoff for 10 hit points.
So back to consciousness.
Why did I... From now on, there will always be a smell test at every single room.
I wish we had a cannery, right?
I think we are the canaries.
We are, indeed.
Magnus is going to kind of walk up there and be like, guys, someone take a look at this stone. Is it? Oh shit, what happened to you guys?
Nothing.
Don't breathe the air. Can we please find the room now?
That is what we're trying to do. But
Yeah, so I kind of guide everyone down the hallway.
I found this stone that I think we can use.
Absalom, before you rush in, like, do you need medical attention? Like, it doesn't look good to me.
I go to a knee for a second. Like, no, it's all fine. I've had worse. Just yesterday, actually. I mean, 10 minutes ago. Like 50 minutes ago.
Yeah, about an hour ago at this point.
It's an hour ago. There was this god that showed up.
There were two guys.
You've clearly breathed too much
God and a
gas.
half.
You're hallucinating.
So, Bruno, are you not poisoned anymore?
Oh, I'm still poisoned.
Okay.
If you're thinking about doing something about it, don't.
What?
I'm okay. I can handle it.
Alright, then I'm gonna look at Absalom and I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on him to get rid of his poisoned.
All right.
Ooh, I've never seen that happen in a game before. That's amazing.
You know, I brought it because it seems good, but no, it never comes in, so I'm gonna absolutely use that spell slot.
My tummy feels better.
It just refuses to.
All right, so spell manages to kind of provide a little bit of relief to those toxins that you inhaled into your bloodstream. The dizzying effect that you have from that seems to kind of go away.
Thank you very much, Magnus. I was doing okay, but feel much better.
Dr. Chernov, you're still kind of seeing double a little bit right now.
Fine. I can handle it. It's good. We're good. Same as with the experienced adventurers.
He says he's good. I respect that. But anyways, in here there's a stone. I think that's one of. I think it's a little statue. I think that's one of the stones we need, right? Yeah, at least it looks unique enough in this place to be one of them.
So I would offer to grab it, but I kind of I got a crink in my back from all the walk leading of the group. So Do you stretch a bit? Magnus, do you want to grab that stone? Oh.
Sure. I put my shield on my back and try to walk through walls again. Continuing to try to walk through walls.
All right, so you move up to the altar, and then you're putting your gear away to pick up the statue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got it.
How big is this thing? Is it something that I could have a mace in my hand and kind of just be using my extra fingers?
You got a backpack or something, right? You could stow it away in your backpack. It would fit. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so probably mark that down in your inventory that you got the Basalt Statue.
So we go and just immediately plug it in?
Absolutely. You don't want anyone to know that we're onto this. At least have a couple of them.
I feel that we're gonna need all 4 of them. Like imagine this is a multi-lock type of phone, probably. It would
like
be
a synchronized mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this it'd be good for us to find a place to rest sooner than later. Maybe that fire slug is friendly. I mean the cart slug.
Probably not.
It was less noxious in the other room with the puzzle.
With the skeleton.
Oh no! I understand that you guys got poisoned by that skeleton.
You're right. It was the skeleton that did it.
Maybe we go back by the earth glyph and just try to hold both points. There doesn't seem to be a lot of movement.
I think that's the best idea.
The earth glyph, I think for a short rest, is a good idea. I wouldn't spend a long rest probably there.
Okay. Sounds good. You all head down there to the area where all that kind of fresh soil, a little bit cooler, maybe the influence of the magic of that glyph or something has calmed that down, but you can absolutely attempt a short rest here. And I will check to see if anything happens during that hour.
I feel like attempting anything can be attempted.
Anything can be attempted, yes.
I like to attempt to set up a merchant shop here.
Ooh, let's see what happens here. If
we get attacked, I'm stepping on the glyph, just so everyone knows.
All right. I think this makes a lot of sense. But let's take a 5-10 minute break here before we dig into this next thing. Don't take your short rest quite yet. Thanks everyone who's hanging out with us. Little cliffhanger for the next 5-10 minutes to see what is coming around the corner. And we'll pick it up there. So stick around. We'll be right back. Hey everybody. Thanks for hanging out. As we're playing some Temple of Elemental Evil. Just took our quick little mid-session break here. The characters are in the fire node. It's a very, very oppressive, blistering heat. Not only that, they've recognized that they've been kind of slowly suffocating and dying in this place, and as they've been inhaling a lot of the noxious fumes that pervade the halls here. They have found a little point of respite right next to a glyph on the floor that appears to be that of the Earth Cult, or Elemental Evil Earth, and there's sort of some soil that's been there's sort of just a coolness, almost like, sort of that moist earth maybe is absorbing some of that toxicity out of the air or something, but it's probably one of the more hospitable places that you found, and they've decided they're going to take a short rest here. You're settling in for about maybe 20 minutes into your rest or so, when you start to hear like a voice kind of muttering to itself from around the southeast. And pretty soon there's a form of this kind of hunched back old man with a hood, supporting himself on a walking stick, who comes into view. And you see as he's kind of like walking about, it looks like he's palming something in his left hand, and he's sort of like kind of whispering or muttering to it. And as he comes around the bend there, very slow moving. Probably those of you that just dealt with Ayas are kind of like a little freaked out for a second, but it's not him. And this figure just kind of looks up at all of you. Oh, well, what do we got here?
Hello, good sir. We were just settling in for I guess you would say a dirt nap.
Yes. You're Absalom. My masters told me about you. Yes, they've arrived. They've arrived.
And that master would be Saint Cuthbert?
No.
Probably not.
No.
One of the other good people?
Yes.
The Lord, possibly.
My master has no name. But he has told me that you would come and deliver me from this place. And here you are.
Oh, God.
Please,
Masters
come.
with no name. That's a good thing, right? Good sign.
We're getting ready for a rest. You can join us and tell us your story.
Why, of course. Settle in. This place is quite safe.
Wait, hold on here. Mister, you seem to be walking around just fine around here. Is there a better place than this we could calm down before we have a conversation with your master?
Well,
Surely there's a better place some warriors like us can rest our heads. Maybe take a nap?
yes, there's a better place. I have consecrated it with runes to ward off the elementals.
Oh, it's you that made this room then.
I did, yes. I am quite studied. Wow. I'm a wizard. I've learned in such things.
Well, I would love to learn all about it.
I really want to hear your story.
Well, it is a bit of a trek. Wouldn't be such a bad idea to hunker down here for a moment or so. There's a lot of enemies here, the elements. They don't really care for us fleshy types walking around. They would just as soon devour and rip our flesh from our bones if they get the chance. And so...
Well, even the mine carts are evil here. Sorry, I'm Dr. Chernoff. You seem to be well acquainted with the world. Do you need some help, perhaps? Any medical attention you need? Anything?
My lord, my master told me that you would come and you would help me to get back out of this place. I am stuck. I have traversed these nodes and I can't find my way out.
What do you mean by that? Nodes?
Yes.
Is it multiple?
He points at the symbol in the earth and he says, that one will take you to a place of rock. Elemental earth.
It was a teleporter.
But this is not a teleporter, right?
It is. It is.
The good doctor is always has his bullshit radar on. He's seeing if anything just pops up.
Like you're wondering if he's sincere. Yeah, give me an insight check.
Absolutely. And I guess if it's to determine he's lying, I have a thing for that. But insight.
Nice.
Yeah, he seems he's telling you stories of having been in that place, of kind of evading and dealing with creatures that are almost personified boulders with personalities, and he tells you that some are kind, some are wicked. He tells you of giants, of rock giants, and treating with them, and he's just got like these really detailed stories that he's like telling you, and so you're like, well, he seems pretty knowledgeable, or he's weaving a pretty convincing tale.
Alex, so I understand. So he's saying that glyph actually is one of the teleportation glyphs, such as the one we used to get here?
Yes. Well,
Oh.
he tells you it goes to another node.
So maybe
So this
not.
one would send us theoretically, not that we know it, but theoretically to the Earth node.
Correct. That's what he is saying, that's where that would lead. But, and he tells you this, you may want to be careful about using it. It doesn't take you to another glyph. You'll find yourself lost and wandering like me if you use them too freely. You must be very sure that you wish to be taken if you were to step on there.
But you said that there's a place that we could rest better than this place on this plane, this node?
Yes, I have a place where I have eked out a existence, survival here.
I'm afraid we never caught your name, perhaps.
Oh, of course. Master, shall I tell them?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Sargon.
Do I see what he's doing with this thing?
He's holding something. He's cupping something, and he's got it he's clamped down on it. But he's whispering and kind of talking to it and like listening at it, like as if it's talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
Starker, please sit down. As we catch our breath, we can tell you about us, and the more you can tell us about this place, the more you're going to help us helping you getting out.
Maybe we should sit down at the safe place where I can take a nap and regenerate my spell preparations.
Well, as I said, you may want to take just a moment here before we go. It's quite a hike.
Okay.
So you can complete your 20 minutes into your short rest. 40 minutes of just chatting this guy up is going to complete your short rest. So while you're RPing and talking to this guy, those of you that need to expend your hit dice and recover your things, go ahead and deal with that. He sits down in the dirt, and he takes his pointer finger and he kind of plucks it into the earth, and he like starts kind of making little symbols and such. He's kind of like drawing in the dirt.
Short rest, you said?
Yep.
Yeah. Are the symbols meaningful? Are they like elemental symbols or just like doodads? Is he doodling?
It looks like it's like a spiral. He's just like kind of tracing like a spiral.
Mm-hmm.
And then you watch him like he does that. He'll make one that's like really big, and then he starts again like next to it and just makes like a small one, but it's the same symbol kind of over and over again at various sizes. And he's sort of talking to himself as he does that. Yes, the truth. I will get further and further towards the truth.
You speak of. What is it?
I don't know quite yet. But every day I can feel it. I am striving to get closer and closer. And he's watching me. Yes, I know you're watching me. I will solve this puzzle.
So, you say your master has no name, right? How long have you known your master?
Yeah. No name that I know of. This is part of what I am seeking. But one day he will reveal himself to me, and I will be seen by him.
And this is the truth you're hoping to acquire is the acknowledgement and recognition from your master. Is that what I'm getting at?
Yes,
That's
yes.
what you're trying to get at.
Of course. Yes, that is why I came here in the first place. These pretenders. There's so many fakers and pretenders that come here. They're misguided. They think they're listening to him, but they're not. Only I hear the true voice.
Do you mind if I try?
You wish to listen as well?
Sure, I'm curious. He knows my name, or I should say, they, he, she, it knows my name, so maybe we have a communion.
What do you say, Master? Can I trust him? This Absalom? No, he's wicked, deceitful. He's a bastard man. No.
What? I take offense of that. Well, I guess all those things are probably true. No, I was not a bastard. My parents were married.
He's got a point, Master. What do you say? Oh, okay. Make a persuasion check.
No.
I think we only just meet, my friend. But in time we will get to know each other. I can share a little bit about the truth, help to enlighten you, and only then, you have to work up to it.
Okay. He probably doesn't want to talk to me anyways. I'm a bit of a big deal in the Hamlet area, so...
From Hamlet, yes. This is a storied region. The flock has gathered there before. In that time, they followed the pretender. But she is trapped now.
Are you talking about Zook Boy?
Yes.
Gumoy is
She
the
entices my master's followers, distracts them from their ultimate purpose.
Sogamoy is the pretender in this scenario. She's not the one in control.
She's not the eye.
The eye.
My master.
Your master has an eye.
Here's where I'm getting a little confused. So, from where we're coming from, right? The pretender was Lareth, the beautiful, that was in with Ayas, right? Or do I get this wrong? Sorry.
Lareth is a fool. He is no concern to my master.
Well, I agree with that, but I'm just trying to understand your points of view. You're kind of alluding to your master, but you're not clearly saying, my master is St. Gottfried. I'm going to be very honest with you.
It is okay. We are friends here. We have the same goal.
Good enough for me.
A tactical alliance.
I'm just an old man wandering the nodes. I am no threat to you, but together I have many things to teach you, and together we can get out of here. You come to seek the gem.
Alrem? Did you know Alrem?
I did. We had philosophical differences.
Yes. He was my mentor, so.
Mentor?
Yes.
What sort of nonsense has he filled your head with?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he was teaching me to, kind of wield the fire and,
He was seducing you to help him free Zagatmoy.
No, my friend. You have it
didn't put it
backwards.
quite with those words, but I honestly, everything is possible. I'll be honest with you. He was kind to me, and he kept his word. That's why I chose to become his disciple.
That's how he works. Like a father, like a brother. Silver tongue, Alrum.
He's dead, unfortunately.
We'll all be dead someday. My master will take us into the dark oblivion.
That's a good sign, right?
Oh, they're worried. They're worried, but they know they need me if they're to survive, if they were to leave.
So, see, the thing is, I'm a bit of a man of a one-track mind, so your master can take me to Oblivion and when he's ready. But first, I want to find the statues, get into the door, get the gem, bring it home, claim all the credit, you know.
You can have all the credit in the world.
Well, let's go then. Excellent.
I only
But first,
have one question for you. Like, why are you here? Like, who put you here?
Lareth put me here. I had disagreements with Alrum, as we've already kind of hashed that out. But his hold on the followers, the flock, they run astray. I was banished, but I wandered. I delved deeper into the temple, looking for something my master could use. And I ran into this Lareth fellow and his gang. They tossed me to the nodes. First, I show up in the water node. I've since lost my spellbook. I wandered. I find these portals. They're all connected, the nodes. But none lead out. It is a test, I think. My master tests me. I am chained and trapped just like he. But once I leave here, I will be stronger. I will understand his toil. I will know the answers to free him. Yes.
Chained, that's also a good sign, right?
And you can see for just like a moment, like that stone in his palm is this sort of like erratic looking spiral that's like been carved into this gemstone that he's holding.
Alex, Thorwald is not a stranger to mental derangement. Okay, so with that being said, does this man look equilibrated to me, to Thorwald?
I think so. Yeah, he's talking to himself. He's talking to a rock. He looks emaciated and undernourished.
I'll give him some of my rations for, as I noticed that he really is emaciated. I'll just, please accept this food. That will, give you some modicum of respite.
He sort of tentatively accepts it. He doesn't like devour it or anything, but he does accept it, and he takes a few nibbles or bites from what you've given him. And he just says, thank you. This should... You follow this example. You wanted every little bit you must savor. Food is very hard to come by down here.
Well, listen, friend. You and your spiral eye chain god are friends of mine, as far as I'm concerned. We have the same aim. We will all go to Oblivion one day, so why don't we partner up? Take us back to your place, let old Magnus boy take a nice little nap, and then we will find some statues, get a gem, get out of here, and have a party back home in Hamlet.
All right, then. Just follow me. And I guess I'll just group up your tokens here. We'll take a little ride as you start to make your way north. Anything that you want to be doing as you do this. Conversations you want to be having with him.
I'm sizing him up to see if he's anything worth pickpocketing. Like, he's in rags, but he's got a gem that he's talking to.
Yeah, make a perception check.
How do I keep doing this?
While that's happening, Dr. Boy doesn't notice him doing that. He's more or less just gonna, from a doctor standpoint, kind of like ask him some questions. How is he doing? How's he feeling? Trying to get him into a more comfortable mindset with us around him. It's like, so tell me, when did this all started? You said you were throwing in Lareth not too long ago. How did that go? But how did that make you feel? Like that kind of stuff.
And how did it make me feel? What kind of doctor are you?
Mainly one for
A therapist?
That is one of my field's expertise.
Oh,
But it's all to help just to warm up the mind, take you back.
my mind. He just starts like knocking on his head. My mind is quite strong, thank you very much. Solid.
I do not doubt it in any capacity.
How are you feeling?
I feel like I'm about to throw up at every moment.
Yes.
Sorry, the gas is still quite pungent.
Absalom, from your perception check, hard to say. He's wearing kind of billowy robes. You don't see him interact with anything on his person, but he's just walking stick and that rock that he's got in his hand.
Yeah, when Dr. Chernov says that, I told you not to go in that room, Doctor.
What do you mean you... I'm not even going to argue with you, team leader.
Distracted by that, trying to gain a one-up on him.
So you make your way into this room, and that is, let's say, you open the door and you see it in there, and he quickly closes the door, and he says, "Oh, it is one of the elementals."
I see that. He's not a friendly type, is he? That likes to give you nice warm hugs and campfires?
I don't
Does
know.
he
I
have
try
a
to
name?
evade it.
It doesn't have a
Name.
name.
Sebastian?
Name it whatever you want, I suppose. It's an elemental.
Well, I heard if you name something, it tends to die very quickly.
That's an interesting theory.
Good,
Sebastian, it is.
Sebastian.
You know, I read a study, and then he's just gonna go off on that.
I think we have to deal with Sebastian if we have to get to your place, correct?
We need to go through this room.
Okay, stand back, Sargon. I don't
Hold
want
on.
him dead. What?
Hold on, Magnus, you had an idea. I just heard it coming out of your mouth.
I could attempt to blind it, and we could scurry by him. Maybe would hear what corner we go into, but not what door.
Blinded, it has no eyes.
Oh shit.
Only we had a really big bucket of water to dump on it.
Oh, do you have such a thing?
No.
Oh,
If only we had a bucket, we could probably fill it at least halfway between the five of us.
Yeah, we don't need to say. Okay.
No. Everything is fine. Magnus is prepared. I've seen him do this before. He can make water out of thin air.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's better than what I was thinking.
Magnus, you could do that? This would be fantastic.
I actually tried that once, and it did not work, and I no longer have that spell prepared. Because
your god sends you down here with no water spell?
It basically just got rain all over the place and really just didn't do anything. It didn't even put out the brazier nearby. Like, it did nothing.
In fairness, we had no idea which node we would be going into. So, it's kind of difficult to prep for something you don't know is coming.
Yeah, that's
There's
fair.
no clue.
And here we are. Well, I can go invisible. I don't know about you. That's what I would do.
Good for you. I think I will have to pummel through that said Sebastian elemental.
Yeah, maybe we should go talk to Sebastian. Maybe we need to introduce Sebastian to the coach. And I,
Will
Does
it,
anyone
before...
Oh, you meant to beat them to death.
No. No, listen. This creature was beckoning to us. Maybe this is one of the friendly ones who wants to make a deal.
I know what that finger means. Come over here and fight me.
Are
trying to
elemental
talk to him.
intelligent?
He says, more emotional based creature, I think.
Then I think he wants
Instinctual.
only to put on fire. Yeah. I can relate to that.
But you said it tried to communicate with you.
Yeah.
Maybe you possess a hidden talent. Maybe this is why. Is this why you sent them to me, Master? Can they speak to the elemental? Are they elemental whisperers, maybe? You said Alrum taught you things?
I mean, mainly to wield this weapon, but yeah.
Maybe we could take a chance on you.
I mean, I'm okay. Yeah, I'll fight him if he wants to fight. I'll talk with him if he wants to talk. We'll see how it goes.
He just sort of steps aside, kind of giving up, taking the lead here at this point. He said, by all means, it's yours.
Lead the way, sir.
So I
Open the door.
will point person and wait for Absalom for the signal.
Go.
Go? Okay. Open the door.
You
did.
see the elemental positioned prominently in the room, kind of turns to look at you as you enter, and you see it just kind of holds up its hand.
Reciprocate. Hi, my name is Storwolf. You seem very intelligent.
It nods.
And you don't want to kill us. Okay, I will believe you, and I'll put away this sword. He extinguishes the flame from the sword and put that in his scabbard. What can we do for you, Sebastian?
It cocks its head. But then it starts to move to the door to the north, and just, again, motions for you to follow it.
Sorry, that was my idea, and he's walking away.
It worked.
Hey, Sergeant, it looks like he doesn't want to fight.
Well, how about that? See? Maybe you are an oracle of elemental fire! Maybe Alrum put some ideas in your head. I can unprogram you. I can teach you the truth.
Yeah, but how about all right now?
Later, yes, during the rest, I'll talk at you while you're sleeping. So the elemental, you just see this form of flame sort of like becomes sort of diminutive, and it seems like it's like shifting its heat and its form right underneath the crack of the door to the north and disappears under that door.
Sergeant, is that where you wanted to lead us?
Oh, well, that we go in the same direction as my little place of sanctuary.
I hate that when that happens. So awkward.
I like the
I
awkward
know.
walking you to the university, and you're both saying goodbye, but you're both walking in the same direction for a solid mile. It's like, I'll see you later. Yep, your dorm's that way. Just go that way. It's that way still. Oh, I'm still going this way.
Yeah, I haven't that experience, no.
There's no university down here. A shame. Oh, the door's locked. There it opens.
Not locked. Yeah, you open it. No problem. And Sargon kind of continues to kind of point you down this way. Then you see the fire elemental one more time at sort of the junction there, and then it again beckons and continues moving to the north. And then Sargon just like, whew. Well, we don't have to worry about him now. This is the way. Here we go. And he starts heading up this direction.
Sargon, wait a second. So you don't want to understand why he's beckoning us?
What if it leads to the truth you are seeking? You just never took it as a sign.
I mean, there has to be a purpose for... No?
You found yourself here for a reason. Maybe this is the reason you were looking for.
Chernov, you can make a persuasion check.
Excellent. Question. Am I still poisoned?
No. It went away after an hour.
Okay. I would like to use my reroll on that one.
Absolutely.
Who needs to mitigate damage when you can roleplay? Oh.
He says, well, I'm not eager to go that way without, and he's like kind of poking at Magnus. This guy, he keeps complaining about wanting a nap. Maybe it's best we get him to some rest. His St. Cuthbert doesn't even give him water.
He makes a compelling case.
And apparently he takes his voice from him as well.
There is
Maybe
wisdom in
Lucas
that.
Jones.
But I feel a personal connection to that elemental.
Maybe.
So here's my take. I think, Thorwald, you should go check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking that too.
With the doctor.
Okay.
And me and Magnus, we'll go get killed by this guy. I mean, go sleep in his room.
No, my option is the safe one. They're the ones that are going to go get killed. I'm the one you can trust.
One of us would
Buying
be
it. You're
getting killed
buying
for
it.
certain.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Dang, psychological warfare. No, I'm just kidding. Let's not split the party. The 4-person party.
So Sargon just says, you sort this out between the 4 of you. I'm gonna go just down here. You let me know what you want. Okay, goodbye.
Well, why don't we do this at least? Why don't we at least see where he stays? So we can
Okay.
reference it. And then we
That's
can
true.
go... Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So you had-
crap.
Ah! The whole room comes collapsing down. You take, all the damage. So the hallway connects into this rectangular room. And you can see there is just sort of like a stone altar here. And upon the altar, you see another one of those statuettes. This one made of quartz. Shaped just identical to the other one that Magnus picked up. So it's sitting on the altar there. There's also some other things, some like food scraps, little pieces of chalk, just some like random things, personal belongings to Sargon. And then you look up at the wall over here, and the entire wall is just made of varying shapes of that spiral symbol. Like the entire room is covered in these shapes. Looks like he's even like kind of started to work on it over by the floor. And as he comes in here, he just plops down on the floor and he picks up a piece of chalk and starts tracing that symbol.
Is that perhaps a religious symbol? Magnus, you've ever seen that symbol before?
I mean, it looks like the scribblings of a madman. I don't think that I've seen it before.
If you want, you can make a religion check at disadvantage.
Well, the gods aren't real anyway, so it's harmless buffoonery. No offense.
A 13 with disadvantage.
Magnus, you don't really know, but it kind of there's something about the way that he is drawing this symbol, like you feel like you've seen it maybe before, but you can't like put your finger on it. All you know is that this is sort of an occult kind of symbol. You probably read books wherever you received your training about some of the worshippers of like kind of nameless gods or these kind of nameless things, horrors that cults ascribe their, tenets of their madness to. But you don't have a name to associate with it.
Sounds good.
So it makes you probably a little bit just distrustful of him even further than maybe you're already feeling, other than a sense of necessity that maybe he's got a place for you to rest.
Mm-hmm. Well, the party can do what the party needs to do, but I'm going to light a couple candles so I cannot go through walls. I'm going to plop here, light a couple candles, and try to unload all these like paper schnibbles I have so that I don't like crush them even further, and then
one other detail about the room as you kind of plop down there, you do notice that there are other symbols that line the perimeter of the room that kind of crosses over the threshold of the portal in here and the one to the south, and those are more detailed, almost like a language. Okay. He had mentioned, I think, that he had kind of consecrated a room to protect him from the elementals, and so maybe that's what that is.
Dr. Cherner, on second thought, I think we should all stick together.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Okay, so let's go all in and let's take this rest. I think it would be stupid for the two of us to go ahead in this state.
Well, hold on one second. If this room is protected from elementals, if we go see what's going on and let's say the fire guy attacks us, we could just run back here. We'd be safe.
Either way, we need the rest. So let's take the rest, and then I do propose, once we've taken a rest, that we try to figure out exactly why that elemental is willing to entertain some form of communication with us. That really catches my thinking.
All right. I'll disagree, but commit.
So Absalom, Thorwald, and Magnus are all in on taking a rest. How about the good doctor?
Oh, he's all for it too. Anything better than, going off on your lonesome, by yourself, all alone.
All right.
Hey, how's it going?
He wants to know how we're doing. Should I tell him the truth? He's just like etching that spiral. That's going good. Doctor Therapist.
It's Dr. Chernov.
Dr. Chernov. Would you like a piece of chalk?
For what purpose, may I ask?
He like presses it into your hand, and he takes your hand and like puts it on the wall to learn the truth. Uncover the truth. And he just starts forcing you kind of to like make that spiral. Yes.
Oh, he's all for it. He's all for it. He'll do it.
Good.
So how long do I uncover the truth? Is this... How long have you been perfecting this technique of yours? To continue that.
Since I was a young lad, I've been searching for decades. I'm getting close.
And was it when you were a young lad when you realized your master was the truth you were seeking? Or is this a recent discovery?
Oh, I've always known that I have been within my master's sight. He's always watching. Someday he will reveal himself to me. He will allow me to be seen and he to be seen by me. And then I will spread that truth widely. I will help him bring the elements into the greatest heights.
So you wish to become this, your master's prophet? Anyway, spread his word throughout the lands.
That is right, yes. He needs me.
But it's not Zuktmoy.
No.
So that you don't understand. No. So Zuktmoy is a demon. Correct?
That is correct. She tries to pretend like she is much more than what she is. She has many deceived, but not me.
I mean, he's given us all the clues we need, Dr. Chernoff. He's a chained up guy with one eye who, like Spiral, he's probably a vampire.
I have no idea how you drawn the conclusion. but if I think on it, maybe. So when you apply with the chains, is that he's trapped with this insatiable hunger that can never end, just like the Spiral here.
No, I was thinking like the last vampire I saw was like chained up, I think, or like trapped in a coffin or something.
You saw a vampire.
Well, yeah, and I'll pull out the silver cross that we took off from the vampires. Not the one that turned into the sword, the other one that I stole that was like just a random artifact. I'm like, yes, this silver cross, I took this from a vampire's lair or something.
It was like from the wall, I think.
Yeah, it was from the wall. It was from it was from the device that we used to open the door.
Yeah,
I think.
Yep. I remember that.
Oh, you've met the vampire, and you've robbed the vampire.
Well, I guess I don't know that.
Will be upset about it.
Yeah, he was dead. He had something sticking in him.
Are you sure he was dead? Did you check for a pulse? How were the signs of life?
A vampire is not dead. It's an undead.
It's just semantic straight.
Death.
Anyways, the point is, there's no such thing as gods or being supreme creators or anything like that. They're just demons and vampires and ghouls, and St. Cuthbert is probably a zombie. Like, that's all it is.
Well, I haven't personally met this St. Cuthbert, but he did talk in my head once, and that was really weird.
He's like a big zombie.
Magnus, you're a avid follower of St. Cuthbert. Have you ever met the man? Or god, or zombie?
I believe I briefly saw his face when I died momentarily, and was brought back by a miracle. Obviously, I was not as fortunate as you who actually saw him, and I'm a little bit jealous about that, but, I saw him and he sent me back, and he's got more work for me to do.
Did you know he wears a funny hat?
Oh, the crumpled hat. I have this crumpled hat. And I pull up my crumpled hat. This is the hat of the wise fool. The wise fool uses common sense and to go through this strange world, and you learn much about the common sense. And well, I have this reading if you want here. It's actually called Common Sense. And
Is it pamphlet sized?
it is pamphlet sized because I have rewritten it so many times. That's my like routine is rewriting it. You gotta stay sharp. You gotta just use your good sense. Make good decisions like the wise old fool would.
So what I'm hearing is you've taken an old ancient text and rewritten it multiple times and shortened it. Would that mean the original message in the original writing be lost in translation over the many revisions and shortenings of its context?
Oh yes, but here's the thing. After a journey, you return home, you copy word from word, and you go on a new journey, and again, you're not straying because you're using the mindset and the common sense of the old fool. St. Cuthbert was once an old fool of sorts. Well, I'm almost done with my candles here, and I have made Cuthbert seals to kind of seal all these prayers. I put them all over my shield, so I've got like dangling paper and cloth that I've written all my things on.
Well, if you have a spare copy of your pamphlets, I would love to read it.
I will make a word-for-word copy for you someday.
Wait, you don't have a spare one?
I have my revision. Any boy who's been raised by the church, has written this over and over. This is as close as to word. Maybe there's some...
Magnus Flare.
All right. So, as you're having this conversation, you've been here for, probably a good 20, 30 minutes now, between talking to Sargon, having your kind of discussion about St. Cuthbert amongst each other. And there's a few things you notice about this room. You don't see the same kind of magma veins in the rock, and it seems like it's temperature controlled a bit in here as well. Maybe that has something to do with the wards that Sargon has put on the room. You're not sure, but it does seem like this is a safe enough place. And so as you're kind of, Magnus, you're prepping yourself to have a sleepover in your corner. Sargon doesn't look like he's ready at all to take a rest. He just continues to trace that spiral. Might be time to maybe talk about kind of rest shifts and things like that.
Okay, I'll take first shift.
I'll take first shift too. Unless it's one person per shift, in which case I'll take second.
Yeah, I don't think we have any elves, so it's one person per 2 hours, so probably need all of you if you're going to keep eyes on it the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll take
first and I'll hand it to Thorwald second.
I could be the third or last.
Okay, so Absalom, Thorwald, Magnus, and then Dr. Chernov.
Yeah.
All right, so you all take up places, try to get as comfortable as you can on solid hard rock. In Absalom, you were up first, and so Sargon is just in the corner, and he's kind of staring at you as he's tracing that symbol over and over again.
Sargon, do you mind if I take this? And I start touching the quartz statue.
He says, no problem. It's all yours, my friend.
Well, much appreciated. I'll put it in my bag.
My master says you were meant to have it.
Did he say that before I took it or after?
Both.
Okay.
It's an interesting dagger you have.
Which one? I pull them both out.
He points at the not cursed dagger.
Yes, this is my not cursed dagger. I found it fair and square. Did not take it from anyone. Oh. Wait, actually, that's true.
Finders keepers, right?
Yes.
You see the gemstone.
I look
That's how
at the
my
gemstone.
master watches you.
Oh, I see.
The eye.
I look at the eye again. I forgot about this part.
And you kind of
Like,
look at it. It's kind of stylized eye, and there's definitely like a spiral pattern that you are now associating with the one that he's drawn.
You know, I had a good feeling about this thing.
So it's clearly not cursed.
Very not cursed. I think you should upgrade the name. But tell your master, whatever it is, thank you. This is certainly well. I'll give the eye a little kiss.
Oh, he will expect some degree of service for the privilege, of course. He allowed such a powerful thing to enter into your hands. Maybe you're worthy. Maybe you fulfill the plan. Or maybe somebody come and find you for it.
Listen, friend, I think that may be misunderstanding here. I don't swing
No,
that way.
No?
I mean, unless I had quite a bit to drink or something, but no. I appreciate your overtures, but I'm spoken for.
He just stares at you.
It's like, but I understand you've been down here a long time. You're probably very lonely, so we'll find someone nice for you back at Hamlet.
Yeah. Good joke. And he just, like, the rest of the time is, like, staring at you. And he continues to trace his symbol. Uh-oh. About an hour into your rest, okay, no encounter. Second hour, nothing. So you have a full 2 hours, nothing other than the awkwardness with Sargon, and then it's time for Thorwald to wake up and take his watch here. So anything that you want to do, Thorwald, during your 2 hour watch?
Oh, absolutely.
Sargon's still awake.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk with him. Like, there's so much that actually I want to ask him. So I will start a conversation about Alrem, and I will kind of ask him, what was your philosophical disagreement with Alrem?
About who the master is.
And I imagine he was rooting for Zokmoy.
I inferred it after a while. He didn't say it outwardly, but he was leading the flock down that path. You see, the Temple of Elemental Evil, it bears that name, but it isn't driven by elemental power as you suggested. Zagat Moy is a demon. It is driven by abyssal power, not the near limitless power that my master can bring into the world.
Yeah, I've always wondered that. So how does Zukmoy tap into elemental power? Where is the connection? Because she's a demoness of, what is it? Spores and stuff like that.
Yeah, imagine worshipping fungus. Not very attractive now, is it? Though she came into this world and pretended and stole the followers of my master, that of the elemental cults. Led them astray.
But you know that Aaron was actually possessed by those spores, right? I mean, I don't know if it was him at all.
Well, then maybe he is to be forgiven for his lack of discipline in adhering to the scriptures of my master.
I understand that you don't trust me, but...
I trust you. I trust you. My master told me that you would come and that you would lead me to freedom.
Then I see no reason why you wouldn't tell me more about this master of yours.
Well, I am still seeking some of those answers myself.
I see. So you perceive his or hers or its power, but such power is not manifest. I mean, I'm trying to understand. I'm sorry if I'm using words that perhaps don't fit title here, but just help me understand.
We will need many, many more hours to be able to hash this all out. Faith is a tricky thing, but he whispers to me, he talks to me, and he has told me the truth. And he will reveal more to me when I help ensure that the pretender is no more.
Well, on this, we are aligned, because we are here to stop Zukmoy for good. That I can assure you.
Then we have no quarrel here, and I'd be happy to share more when this is all over.
But I will be honest with you. I don't think many of my companions have as broad a view of the mysteries of life and death as I have. So for your own protection, stick close to me.
Well, I just chatted with your friend Absalom. He doesn't seem to even be aware of the existence of other deities. I'm not afraid of him. He seems... I'm okay with that. He will learn in time.
It's just a suggestion. Do as you think best.
I'll take this advice under counsel. I'll talk to my master about it. See what he thinks.
In this note that you've already explored that you care to share with me, do you find so you said the earth glyph, it's a portal to the earth node. So should I imagine there are three such glyphs down here, or actually correct, are there two such nodes down here?
I've only discovered that one. But I think it is a fair guess or assumption. There may be more.
But if I reflect what you said, you originally were dumped, so to speak, into the water node, then somehow made into the earth node, and then this is your third node that you've, so to speak, sojourned into?
Correct.
You're quite the trailblazer. Some of my companions are right now in those two nodes, and I pray for them that they can succeed in their tasks.
Some of them will live, some of them may die. But my master is with at least one of them.
What do you mean?
My master is watching at least one of them. I do not
Okay.
know who, but I can feel it that there is one amongst the adventurers of Hamlet.
I think I know who you're talking about. But I should not say his name, because perhaps I'm wrong. Anyway, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Now please rest. I'll stand watch, and after I'm done, I'll look up Magnus.
Sounds good. Nothing happens in the next 2 hours as Thorwald, you go to wake up Magnus. And Magnus, you take over. Still, Sargon has not slept. He's still awake and drawing those spirals all over.
Alright, I'm just gonna use my 2 hours to continue putting these, like, purity seal type things on my shield. They're just, like, prayers, like, little stories, parables of the lost fool, all that stuff. Is there chalk just laying around?
Yeah, there's pieces of chalk on the little altar table in the center.
I'm just gonna walk over there and grab some chalk and say, do you mind if I draw on the wall over by me?
By all means, go ahead. You see, he stands up and grabs his walking stick, and he starts making his way over here.
Alright, and I'm just going to draw like a very simple seal of St. Cuthbert, and I'm just gonna ask him if he knows what that means.
Your god, St. Cuthbert.
How does your master feel about St. Cuthbert?
He is beneath his notice.
Interesting. So your master is a god?
Yes, very powerful. The most powerful god ever. One so powerful that all other gods feel threatened by his existence.
You say he has no name. Does he have any nicknames? He who did something or other, maybe?
You can see there's like shame on his face as he kind of turns away. I don't know. I'm close. Soon he will reveal himself to me.
Big god, scared of an old man. Please, sir, eat my rations. You look like you haven't eaten in weeks.
He moves closer. He accepts your rations. Starts kind of nibbling a bit.
I'm just gonna have another ration and just sit there and kind of keep an eye out. I am very obviously nervous with this guy, but at the same time, like, he's had us in this room for some time and there's been no problem, so I'm just finishing my fun with seals and wax.
He just turns to you and he says, I'm going for a walk.
Oh, will you be leaving this room, and will we be safe while you are out?
I've been fine. I will survive this long without companionship of St. Cuthbert. I'll be fine.
Okay.
And then he exits the room.
I'm just gonna finish my time and wake up the kind doctor.
All right. Do 2 rolls here. Okay, nothing happens. Dr. Chernov, you are awoken by Magnus.
It's that time already. Oh. Where did the old man go?
He went off for a wander. You know,
Didn't even ask him where he was going?
I mean, Do I know? Do I believe him when he says where he's going? Going is for a walk is probably the only honest answer we're going to get out of him.
I believe he's been very straightforward with us every step of the way.
Then there's no reason to concern his absence.
Ah, you're probably right.
I mean, he hasn't eaten in a while. Maybe he had to go.
Wait, was he awake when you woke up?
I think he's been up this entire time. I don't think he's.
He has not slept?
Yeah, I gave him some food because he looks like he's, hasn't eaten, and clearly it's because the guy can't sit still. He's just been playing with his chalk. I made a little design of my own, and yeah. Well, I'm gonna just try to close my peepers.
All right, so Magnus goes to sleep. Heinrich, anything that you're doing during your 2 hours?
Well, the man I was going to have a lovely conversation to is not here. That's a bit of an issue.
He didn't
I
want to talk
guess
to you.
he did not. I guess I'm going to pull out some of my vials, just tinker with the potions I got, make sure they're still potent, good, active, and not spoiled in any capacity. Everything looks well in order. Everything looks wonderful, and he's just gonna read a book.
Read a
He
book?
can't really do much.
Sure thing. Let's see. No problem. And final hour. Did really well there on the wandering encounters table. You have a long rest. You can't have another long rest for another full. You get one long rest per 24-hour period. So basically, 10 and a half hours have transpired since you've entered the node. Waking up rested, get half your hit dice back, half your max back, and all your abilities recharged, and if you're switching out spells and all that fun stuff, you can have done that.
Oh, what a night, huh?
Where is Sargon?
Magnus said he went for a walk.
Seriously?
He said he was walking, and he didn't sleep that entire time, as far as I know. Just guy really likes walking around.
Just between the four of us, I don't think he's all there.
Oh, definitely not.
Well, that's for sure. But again, if you've been alone in elemental node for I don't know many years, I don't think anybody else would. I think he has a role to play. I think we should keep him alive.
I wasn't going to murder him. I'm going to take advantage of him.
That sounds rather rude. He has been nothing but hospitable and kind, is the word I would use here. He left us to his home. Clearly he has some food he left out for us, however slim it may be.
I do have some concern. Can't place that spiral and knows from something. I tried to bait him with the St. Cuthbert conversation, but he thought his god, which we determined it is a god, sees St. Cuthbert as beneath him. I don't know much about greater gods that would be evil and I mean, Vecna's not strong enough. I don't know, but I do think that his master is real, although he is having some sort of psychotic episode.
Well, there's lots of things that can communicate with people. I myself used to communicate with my master, I guess you could say, who's just a simple human. So I say, it does not matter. He works with us. He's on our side. His eyeball god is probably friends with Zeloff or something.
Speaking of Ziloff, thank you for the cheer, Isaac. Appreciate it.
Hey, good timing. Good timing.
Wait,
So,
Sylph worships an eyeball god? What? You're not.
well, he's
telling
like
us
made
that.
of eyeballs. They like come out of his body and like shoot lasers.
Well, this
I mean-
this guy was talking about the eye all the time. And if you remember
Yes.
Lareth, he took the flaming eye or something like that. So this eye is a recurring element with different archetypes, but it's there for sure.
It's just a common motif, and I show them my dagger. And be like, look, see, even my dagger has an eye on it.
And Absalom, if you remember, he knew your name. So I wouldn't just
It's a
joke about
common
it.
name. He could have
No.
guessed it.
No. I think that this entity is aware of who you are and what you're doing through that dagger. I'll be honest with you.
I don't see what you're getting at, Thorwald. And I like turn my hip away from him so my dagger's out of reach.
No, I'm not. I'm not asking for your dagger. I'm just saying that I'm starting to feel like that dagger is a communications device.
You say you don't want my dagger, but that's what I would say if I did want the dagger.
No, I really don't want your dagger. I want you to understand the danger, right? The danger of carrying it.
Well, I'll say this. I've used it to kill many bandits and weird creatures and such. So far, it's only helped.
Well, it's a weapon. If you wield it the right way, it will kill creatures. That's not the part that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the eye. But anyway, why am I bothering you with this? I don't know. Just don't listen to me. What I'm concerned about right now is finding the old creep and then figure out what's going on with that element. So you guys on board? We go find Sargon and we'll see what happens to him.
Absolutely.
It's the first sensible thing you've said all day.
Wow.
It's probably the least sensible thing you've said all day.
All right. So you're gathering up again. I'm just gonna kind of group y'all together here. Okay, here we go.
Alex, can you also reload my thing in? For whatever reason, Beyond 20's not doing it for me today.
What did you need reloaded?
Like, can you pull in my D&D Beyond character again? Or whatever you did earlier today?
Sure.
Oh, it actually works now. I figured it out.
Okay. Sounds good. So, the four of you, it sounds like you want to head in the direction that you saw the fire elemental go. So you head up the hallway here, back out into the heat. And once you get to this point here, you'll see they got two ways forward. One that leads straight and one leads northeast.
And I think the elemental was in this direction, right? Or last
Yeah.
go in.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did somebody pick up that statue that was in the old man's room?
I think Absalom
No.
did.
Okay.
Yeah, I took it.
Absalom would probably tell you no. Doesn't, maybe the old man walked off with it, but meta game, yes, Absalom has it.
I'm just waiting for we have three of them so I can be like, ah. I got the fourth one.
So, the four of you come up to right about here. And then straight ahead, what you see kind of inlaid in the floor of this next chamber looks to be an open pit of molten hot lava. see like little pieces of like ember and whatnot kind of pop and spark up from there. Bright light aglow.
Well, I guess this is where our elemental friend is sleeping, maybe? Thorwald, do you want to try to talk to him?
Well, if he's here, I will just step here and say, Sebastian, are you here?
So you're gonna move forward to try to see him or chat him?
Yeah, but no more than 10 feet.
Okay. So, as you get to right here, probably you don't even have a chance to call off to Sebastian because your attention is drawn to the north, where you see a curled up, massive draconic presence, red scales, and in between his scales are bits of coin and gemstone. And as you move forward, this dragon kind of erects its head up, and you've caught its attention. You can see kind of smoke start to curl up out and bloom out from his nose, and he bares his teeth. And I think that is where we will end the session tonight.
When you step away for just a few moments, you come back to this. It's really interesting.
Yeah, we actually
What did
offered
you
you as
do?
a sacrifice.
It's worth it.
Well, I think we found Sebastian's master.
Yep.
Sebastian Senior.
Sebastian Senior. Yes, that's what he told us.
So that was the first session of the fire node. I did quite a bit. No initiative rolled. See, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for playing. Audience, thanks for hanging out with us here tonight. This has been latest chapter of our community campaign. I think we've got Earth Node is up next. I think they're playing not this Friday, but next Friday. So we will have an opportunity to see what kind of mischief they are getting up to. This is our community campaign. This is an open campaign. We're kind of in the last stages of it, but if we had somebody that was really eager to jump in here at the tail end, we could certainly, you could be a wanderer of the nodes too, maybe. I don't know. We'd invent a reason why you pop up in one of the nodes. Best way to come and game with us would be just hop into our Discord server and let us know you're looking for a game, whether it's this or we've got plenty of DMs that are recruiting for games that they're trying to put together. So it's a great place to find others that are looking to group up and start a campaign or just do some one-shots. The other thing is, if you really like what you saw here tonight and have been following along with the channel here and you want to support my efforts here with 20 Sides, just check out the Patreon. There's some perks there in terms of getting priority to sign up for the games and whatnot. Really anybody can get into one of the games, but it's there if you want to add a little support to the channel. What else? Yes, we've got, we're going to be doing a 20 Sides week of giving. Starts May 9th through the 14th. So if you want to circle back to the channel on any one of those days, we'll be doing a fundraiser to help support the Center for Suicide Awareness. If you've been here for any amount of time, you've likely seen the little chat bot that has the message for information about the Hope Line. That's a text-in emotional support service. And the Center for Suicide Awareness is great with all the outreach that they do, especially in the gaming community. So it's a great organization that we love to support year after year. So come back around at that time to kind of see all the games that we're putting on and make a donation and enjoy some of the giveaways. We got a bunch of things that we'll be giving away during the week as well. So let's see. I think that's it. Unless we got any other announcements. Just want to check in real quick, see if we got anybody to raid. Kind of pass it forward and say hello to somebody. Make their day. Let's go and drop a raid. Let's drop a raid on the Adventure Archive. All right, thanks everybody. We will see you all soon.
Thanks, Alex.